How's it going, everyone? Mad Spartan here, and today I'm bringing you hopefully the first episode in a very long series, just titled Mad Spartan Review, something very simple. I'm trying to branch out just to see what works, what doesn't. And I saw something very interesting on TikTok like a while ago. It's like it's one of these. It's like you basically just like plug it into a TV or any type of like screen, and it basically just has like a ton of games on it. It's definitely not like a licensed thing. It's definitely not great. But I saw one on TikTok that was saying it had like 40,000 games or like something crazy on it. Like Marvel vs. Capcom 2 was on there. There was just endless amount of games on it. So my friend saw it and wanted me to make a review on it because they want to see if it's worth buying. So I actually bought it and I did open it already. I just opened it, but everything else is still basically in its packaging. So as you guys can see, it's pretty straightforward. I mean, there's nothing really to it. I mean, I don't know if they by on purpose misspelled wireless or Y controller gamepad is one word, but you just plug this thing into anything, you know, screen, TV. I'm gonna plug it into my TV though, because if this thing is like a virus thing or something, like I don't want my computer to be like screwed. So when you open the box, it comes with these two controllers. They offer two so you can actually play with a friend. Of these like knockoff PlayStation 5 controllers. Love it. Love the authenticity. I love it. Actually sounds like a GameCube controller. Comes with a little manual on how to use it. So, and then I got a nice thank you card. So I'm actually happy about that. So we're going to see, you know, they have 24/7 customer support, which most times when they say that and then you go to call them, they either never answer or it never existed in the first place. Comes with a little HDMI port because it literally is supposed to just plug right into it. And then I think for this, it'll allow, like if I wanted to plug it into my computer or something like that, I would do that. But I don't know. I'm a little scared of the risk here. So as you guys can see, it's just this thing. We're gonna plug this in right into the TV, and it will be good to go. Not much to it. I was trying to figure out a way to record it on my capture card, so that you guys can have it like in decent quality. But to be honest with you, I don't want anything to happen to my computer. I don't know how it works. Like I'm not too tech savvy, but I'm afraid like if this thing has like weird stuff on it, like malware and viruses and stuff, it'll go into my computer or at least my monitor, and then I won't be able to use it. So we're gonna plug it into my TV, because if my TV goes bad, I can just buy a new one, and it's not that big of a deal. So that's pretty much all this is. It's this, and then it's two controllers. Unfortunately, actually, but I'm glad I thought about that. It needs batteries. It needs AA batteries. They say it right here. I had to go out and actually buy a pack of batteries for this. Not a big deal. I mean, you know, if any of you played Xbox or anything like that, I mean, you guys are accustomed to controllers. And the fact that it has two is pretty cool. So, like, if this thing even works, like, half-heartedly, at least I can play some games with my girlfriend, I guess. And we're going to see what this actually has in it. I'm very excited. It is going to transition to, like, a recording on my phone because I don't know how to use a capture card for it. I hope you guys kind of like the format here. I'm kind of used one of the formats that's for my stream, where my webcam would go up here and then we would just kind of watch a video, you know, if we want to just watch something on live streams. But I kind of wanted to use it for the reviews page as well. So I think it's a good use of something that hasn't been used yet. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. I'm going to see you guys in a second because I need to transition to my phone and everything.
Okay, now everything is all out of the box and ready to go. This should be everything you have when you're setting it up yourself if you want to. We're going to need two sets of batteries because I do plan to plug both controllers in just to make sure. We do have this, which is going to be the first HDMI port that you're going to plug the stick into. Once we take this cap off, you guys will see. It has an HDMI thing. You're going to plug it into the stick. And then the other side's going to go into whatever device you're going into. We're going to be going into the TV to make sure that it works. And then on the back of the stick, you're going to put this little USB thing. I didn't show it originally because I kind of forgot about it, but you're going to plug it into the back here to kind of set it up. So I'm going to plug everything in and we're going to cut to it and you guys are going to see kind of how it works. So as you guys can see, we do have AA batteries here. Everything is set up to how it's supposed to be. We have the stick plugged into this HDMI cable and then the USB thing into the back of it, which I assume powers it on, but we're going to see in a second. So I'm going to plug this in here. I just set it up on the back. Make sure sure it's all good. Okay, so it doesn't look like there's any lights on this, even when it's plugged in correctly. So that's already a bad start. So now what we're going to do here is we're going to put the batteries into the back of these controllers. We take 2 AA batteries. And we're going to see. I'm going to set you guys up over here. And then we're going to cut the one I had the batteries into the controllers. Okay, so now we have the batteries in, and as you guys can see, when we hit mode, these controllers are going to start flashing, which I believe they said the correct way on the manual was eventually one would be green and one would be orange to signify which one's player 1 and which one's player 2. I'm not entirely sure because I've been trying to connect them and they're not really working. First off, we're going to try to go to whatever HDMI I plug these things into and see if there's at least like a menu or something that I can look at just to make sure that I'm doing this correctly. Okay, so it looks like I made a little bit of a mistake. It doesn't plug into the back here. It actually plugs into a USB port that's on the TV itself. So let's plug this in. Maybe that'll fix it. So now the chip is fully in. As you guys can see, we have, it's not in here anymore, but we have the HDMI and everything, and then this is plugged into the USB port on the TV itself. And it looks like that must have did something because now the controllers are picking who's player 1 and who's player 2. So maybe all we have to do now is set up to the right HDMI and we should be good to go. Okay, I gotta say, I've been really confused on how to do this. I didn't really understand it. And then when you check the manual, it says what I was doing before, just plugging the USB thing into the TV, plugging the HDMI thing. So I'm looking at it, and I feel like I've tried this 4 or 5 times, and it wasn't working. So I looked at this port, and I'm like, why is this a thing? Like, I don't really know. I have to tell you guys what this is for. And I started doing it, and it was probably the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. So what I did is I took the charging cable out of my PlayStation. I'm going to plug this end into the stick, and then I'm going to plug the USB port into the PlayStation. And you guys are gonna see exactly what happens. It was so funny. I had to turn it off. I don't know why it keeps doing that, but okay. You guys are set up. You guys are set up beautifully, actually. So watch this. Watch this. I'm gonna plug this in to the side, right? I'm gonna plug this into a PlayStation that is currently on. Which, if that's the case, do I need a PlayStation to run this? Like, I was so confused. But look at this. Watch how this goes. That weird startup already. And you're gonna get this techno beat. So that's the techno beat that plays. We're going to be loading hopefully 4,000 games, or whatever, 40,000, whatever the number was. And we're going to take a look at this. I'm sorry if the quality isn't perfect. Why isn't this working? Hold on. Is orange player 1? My controller doesn't work. What is happening? Let me read the manual. I was so ready to just drag this entire product. Let's see here. Let's see if this thing works. Hold a button on your device. Oh, alright. I gotta configure this. That's also another thing. They're configured like Xbox controllers. So I don't know. But we're gonna... It's already taken. How's it already taken? Oh. Just to make sure. Why is it LT and RT? God damn it. Damn, you have to configure everything. Okay.
So I'm going to start narrating it just so, we kind of cut out some of the sound because I am aware that sometimes the sound is a little distracting and not so professional, and I'm sorry about that. But I'm trying my best just to make sure that everything kind of lines up. As you guys can see, there's a ton of emulators on this thing. Like, definitely well over 1,000, maybe 2,000 games on here. I mean, that one alone has 5,000, so there's definitely well over like 10K. The problem is there's just not a lot of like the games that work on here, and you guys are going to see that we're going to run into a lot of problems. It's just a little bit of a short narration just because it flows into something that already has audio, but I'm going to start narrating a little bit later, and you guys are going to see that a lot of the games that we pick just don't work very well. It's very interesting.
No, I don't want to shut down. What the fuck? Why does circle not work? I'm confused on how this works. Now we gotta get this weird intro again. And the 24/7 hotline? I'll have to show you guys a picture. It's just a WhatsApp number of like a random person who has not gotten back to me yet. So much for 24/7. Can I get this? Can this come on? It has a lot of games. It does. As of right now, none of them are playable. So I might have to configure the PlayStation controller again. You gotta check to see what that website's about.
Sorry to cut off your little techno jam there. So as you guys can see, we're already kind of having problems just kind of setting it up. This is mainly because of how confusing the manual is. I mean, even before we got to this point, I mean, there was like a half hour to 45 minutes of setting up just because of how lacking of information the manual has when it comes to setting this up. Like, it's really crazy. And as you guys can see, there's an Overwatch character, Diva, just fighting some demons from, it looks like World of Warcraft or something. Very strange. So you guys are going to see, we're going to check some of the games out here. I mean, obviously it has God of War. We will visit that later. But first up, we are going to go to Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and I'm not going to narrate the whole thing just because I want you guys to just kind of hear, my genuine reaction to it, but I'm just trying to limit, like, kind of how bad the sound is. So it'll kind of load you into an emulator. Every time you pick a game, it'll load you right into an emulator. Kind of load it up for a little bit, and then you go right into it. It's very simple. Kind of looks like it's like how they would look at an arcade machine, because you'll see, like, oh, one more player can come up, and kind of like you can put in, like, coins and stuff. It's pretty interesting. But the first thing is going to be the first issue that we have in this game is I can't navigate the menu. When I'm pausing it there is no way to navigate it with the PlayStation controller. It seems like you might need the white controllers, but I'm not even entirely sure. And also, half of my buttons don't work in this game. It's very weird. There's going to be a couple of games that have those issues where it's either, you're going to have some games that literally just give me controls, and it doesn't matter that I binded them earlier. You're going to have some games that just buttons don't work, and you have this game that literally limits half of your buttons. They just don't work for any reason. So I'm going to let you guys see it, and it's very weird.
Oh wait, Why are my buttons all weird? Why are my buttons all weird? They're not real buttons! Ah, there we go. No. I guess if you can figure out what your buttons are, like, this is a real thing. I'm trying to get someone else in. Let's rock! I don't want to talk. How do I snap it? Hold on. Why does that do the intro music? How do I... What are the controls? Why am I not able to navigate this? I feel like you're supposed to do it with these controllers, but they're not working. Kind of confused on how this works, but it looks like it's good. How do I navigate? You're not supposed to do this with another controller. I wish I knew how to connect these controllers. Yeah, it doesn't look like these controllers get connected. Oh. Can this only be... Why doesn't this navigate? Alright, we'll just go for it. Hold your block. Hold your block! Oh, man! Ooh, dodge. Ah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, we're marching down the field. Alright, that's enough of this. Just gonna disconnect the controller, and then we reconnect it. And it's gonna bring us right back to the main screen. We'll do one more game. I think I want to see if they have God of War. Like, if that's like a real thing. There's just no way. There's no way they have God of War Chains of Olympus. There's just no way. This is a real thing. Oh my god, it's real. We're not gonna make it that far, but let's just play.
Suffering for years, Kratos, the once great general,
I just want to go.
now known as the Ghost of Sparta, pledged himself as a champion to the gods of Olympus. In return, he hoped only to rid himself of the nightmares that haunted him for far too long.
I don't know, is this supposed to be blacked out like this?
His only respite, his only relief from the sins of his past, was found in the healing bath. And on this day, Kratos had been called upon by the gods to confront an unthinkable evil, unleashed on the city of Attica by the invading Persian army.
I can't tell if this is even how it's supposed to look. I'm gonna have to look it up. Yeah, this isn't good. You can see the frames dropping. Alright. Oh my god.
So as you guys can see, obviously, like it's at the top of the favorites list. They want you to see that they have God of War on here, a PSP game. Like it's pretty big. And as you guys can see, it cannot be ran at all. I mean, at the beginning it said 60 frames per second, and now it's just averaging 8 or 9 frames per second. I mean, you could literally see the pixels behind the fireballs. Like it's just a mess. As I was saying before, you have games that just completely eliminate your buttons. You're not able to use half your buttons. In this game, it doesn't matter that you made your bindings. The game literally tells you what the controls are and how to do it. So it's like they're not even following the same rule. Like each game has its own property, so it's impossible to have like a generic rule for everything. And then as you guys are going to see later, after this, we give it a little bit of tries. Obviously it's not getting any better. It's if anything, it's getting worse. We're gonna hop on Mario Kart 64, which is a pretty big one. I was happy about that. I mean, it's pretty cool. I mean, it has a Nintendo game. As I said, there's tons of ports on here. There's tons of emulators, all for different things. So it's cool just to kind of experiment. I wanted to play multiple games to make sure like I wasn't making a uneducated, opinion about it. They have Grand Theft Auto Vice City, which probably won't work well at all. And as I say later, there's no way it's working with Dynasty Warriors because there's just too many things on screen when you play Dynasty Warriors. So I already know like half of their favorites list probably can't even really be played. So it's like you're already cutting it by half at that point. You know what I mean? So it's just a mess. So we're going to give Mario Kart a try. I'm not going to speak too much into it. I'm going to let you guys kind of see the genuine reaction. And you guys are going to see that I'm not able to drive in it. So there's no button to drive. It's so weird. It really is. This is going to be the last narration until like the ending. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, these narrations are more to try to like make it so that the sound isn't so horrible. Because, I have very thin walls, so like you guys are kind of hearing the cars and stuff. So I wanted to kind of make it as professional as possible. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. This is just going to be past me.
How do I do that volume? I don't know how to go. How do I go? How do I go? Why is the volume so loud? Alright. How does one go? The controls are always different. How do I go? Oh, there's cheats too, but too bad I can't navigate the menu. Well, I found that volume is... I mean, I'm figuring it out. Alright. Can't drive. I think that's enough of that. I'm gonna talk about the review on the computer because this wasn't great.
Okay, we are back now. Obviously, a lot better quality. First off, just wanted to say I apologize for kind of how bad the quality was. Like I said, it was from my phone. You know what I mean? I mean, the quality isn't horrible. It's just more like the sound and stuff isn't great. But I just want to let you guys know, like, I'm not sure how I would implement it with something like a capture card. Like, I know I could plug it into the capture card in essence, but I won't be able to, like, record from OBS. So, like, either way, I'd be recording it from my phone. So, if there's a way to stop that, I'm not aware of it. But I wanted to just make a video. I'm going to try to touch it up so it's not too bad, but I'm going to do the best that I can. So the overall review of this was not great. I'm not going to lie. It wasn't. The controls are weird. I don't know how to get the other controllers to work. I had to end up like plugging in a a PlayStation controller to use it, but the software isn't used to a foreign controller, so like all the controls are wrong. And then you guys saw it in the beginning, you implement the controls that you have, and then what's the point when each game has its own like specifics for controls? With Mario Kart, there was no button to drive in Mario Kart. With God of War, it basically just told me what the controls were, and I was just listening to its controls. Marvel vs. Capcom, half the buttons didn't even work. It's not a consistent thing. I don't care if there's 15 million games on this thing. It was not good at all. I'm not gonna lie, it was horrendous. I really wanted it to be good. I really did. Just even at the bare minimum, I can't even get the damn controllers to work. The help hotline is stupid. There's nothing to it. It's a WhatsApp number that doesn't respond back to you. I didn't even want to email it because I didn't want to wait that long. I couldn't believe it. But yes, my review of this it's pretty bad. It's definitely I obviously wouldn't say a scam, but it's pretty close to it. It's not worth $40-50 that they're charging in the TikTok shop. And anyone who's making commission off this is horrible, because this is... I can't believe anyone bought this. I mean, I bought it for the video, but it's not a good product at all. The games are okay, and then if you play a game that's too advanced, completely shuts down, basically. They can't even run a game like God of War on there. I know damn well you can't run anything like Dynasty Warriors on there. The artwork is confusing. There's like Overwatch characters in the art fighting Diablo characters. Like, I don't even know what we're doing here. But yeah, if I had to give it a score out of 10, I'd probably give it like a 1 out of 10. I mean, maybe a 2 out of 10, depending, but no. I mean, just the sheer fact that every single game has its own controls, so you have to spend 10-15 minutes to even like learn how it works. You can't navigate the menu. The controllers don't work. You can't even ask anyone for help. It's not a good product. Yeah, I would say it's probably a 1 out of 10 for me. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, you know, if you want to get it, you can, I guess. But even at the bare minimum, if I got the 2 white controllers working, I mean, that doesn't excuse the fact that the rest of the thing is horrible. It could have so many games, and none of them are really good. I don't even know what to do with like Mario. You can't even drive in it. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Just a quick review. It was fun though. Like, it's definitely something that I would like to keep doing for the channel. Like, just setting something up like that. It took me a while to set it up because of how confusing the manual is. The manual tells you this, especially for just setting up for your TV. It's plug the stick into the HDMI port, plug the HDMI cable into the TV, then put the USB into the TV. That's all it says. It doesn't say anything else. It doesn't say you need the wire to plug into it. It doesn't say you need to like set it. It's ridiculous. It doesn't tell you what happens if the controllers aren't working. It was a mess. It was a mess. It doesn't tell you why your controllers aren't even working for the menu. It just tells you if they're not flashing, you just gotta reset everything, which isn't even a solution. That's just hoping that it fixes itself. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Quick video, you know, well, quick outro. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you all in the next one.